And what stood out to me, I think we talked about this in one of our Gospel Mysteries podcasts on women in the priesthood. We went into some depth on this. But there's words that jump off the page here. Like, so she's an elect lady. It's talking about her office and calling, the office of her calling. It's talking about her being ordained under the hands of Joseph. And of course, receiving a crown of righteousness, right? These are all priesthood terms, right? Office of what? Office of priesthood. Ordained to what? Ordained in the priesthood. Crown of righteousness, a queen in what? A queen unto God, right? A priestess unto God. And it's really, really interesting because, right? Of course, this is, we're still leading up to the formal organization of the Relief Society at this point. It hasn't all been revealed and put into organized in the church at this point. But we see that this idea of the woman's role in the priesthood, right, is coming forth here. This is something probably to some degree that's still being restored, in as far as being generally understood in the church. But because we're not so much talking about ecclesiastical priesthood here. We're talking about patriarchal priesthood. And this is something that's because they're in Kirtland here, they're gathering in Ohio at this point. This is something that's not going to come to fruition until Nauvoo, until we get the full temple, we get the endowment houses operating, we get the Relief Society organized, right? We have actual temple sealings happening where husband and wife are being joined for eternity, ordained to become kings and queens and have these higher offices in the patriarchal order of the priesthood. So it's very common and easy for people to confuse, ecclesiastical priesthood, church priesthood with patriarchal priesthood, which is the greater, more important priesthood and purpose of the church, really, is to get people into that order of the priesthood. But that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing that Emma had an office and she was ordained with a purpose. And part of that was supporting her husband, right? That's obviously a function of wife, of queen, is to support the king, and vice versa, right? That's
symbiotic.
Symbiotic. But she's also ordained to expound scriptures. And that's me also very, right, there's some hints there to a presiding function like we would see in President over the Relief Society today. There's it's the spirit of revelation, spirit of prophecy being given unto her within the office of her calling and an ordination here. Now, the church has not continued to use these kind of terms generally in relation to women. Maybe that changes, maybe that doesn't. But it is instructive in understanding what is to come as the church, as we grow from the Church of Jesus Christ into the Church of the Firstborn, as we come from a church into the patriarchal order that is Zion. Right. These roles of man and woman, husband and wife, queen and king, priest and priestess, these roles and these offices and these ordinations that we receive through the temple become more and more important and essential. And we need to understand them because what is eternal is the patriarchal order of the priesthood. Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.